Om Shanti. Accumulate the power of thoughts and become an instrument for elevated service, divine vision. The more you children continue to become filled with the power of elevated thoughts, the more you will clearly be able to see the form of elevated service being done. Each one of you will experience someone calling you, that someone is invoking you, one with a divine intellect and pure thoughts. Some will see the Father and this place in a divine vision. With both types of experiences, you will reach your elevated destination at a very fast speed. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 8. Accumulate the power of thoughts and become an instrument for elevated service. Today's topic, Divine Vision. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. You must be thinking, seeing through your divine eye, right? And when there is divine eye, what will other feel? If you look at the person just in an ordinary way, whatever that person is, whether it is physical personality or nature, sanskars. But if you look at divine, have divine vision towards each one, what will awaken in them? Love, purity, divinity. And actually, it is a very good quality service too. That means you don't have to make too much effort. Otherwise, we go back into our past karmic accounts, past sanskars, settling of sanskars. All that is because of ordinary vision. But when you have divine vision, you could settle the past. You can settle the differences. And then our nature becomes like always look at the divine image of everyone. I think it's very interesting if we listen to Baba's each word. Not only that, but experiment and see how it works. So Baba is saying, the more you children continue to become filled with the power of elevated thoughts. The more you will clearly be able to see the form of elevated service being done, right? Elevated service being done. So one is the planned program, other is as much of a stage as all this, then that kind of service will happen. Each one of you will experience someone calling you, that someone is invoking you, one with the divine intellect and pure thoughts. When I think of this, I know that sometimes you, because of certain reason, you reach somewhere and that person had been invoking you. Once I had to go to one of the country, so I had to get visa. Generally, if they know me, because I used to go every year, so they just give. But that day they said, no, you have to come. So we were a little bit not very happy, but we went. It was actually day of Raksha Bandhan. So that as soon as we enter, the High Commissioner in that mission was so happy. He said, my sister is in India. And since morning I was thinking if someone can tie Rakhi to me. So I had taken Rakhi, and so he called his wife from home and children, and we sat together. And in his room, in his office, we celebrated Rakhi. So then I was thinking this pull, or compulsory also maybe, we had to go to that place. Of course, then everyone in the staff, they all tied Rakhi. So when Baba says you will be pulled by the place and the person, I think this happens many, many times. So that's what Baba Man says, that each one of you will experience someone calling you. That someone is invoking you. One with a divine intellect and pure thoughts. Some will see the Father, and Baba says this place also with the divine vision. With both types of experiences, you will reach your elevated destination at very fast speed. So I think that when time is happening such that we will be pulled to go, and there we will meet the person. So I think this happens, but when we have planned everything, so you might not feel that pull. But Baba says it will happen, that you will be pulled. And then whether it is tying Rakhi or giving message or creating his fortune, it's something or other. So I think we have to now accumulate the power of pure thoughts. And that will help you to have divine vision. You will be very far-sighted, whether seeing, listening, or feeling being invoked, all that will definitely happen. Om Shanti.
Hello, Didi ji. Om Shanti.
Hello, Om Shanti Vadivan.
You know, one thing is where almost coincidentally something happens or somebody calls you or you show up somewhere. But there's another thing where yogi souls, that they really do feel that there's a need somewhere or that somebody's going through something. And I know you've done this many times too, and Daddy Janki used to do it. And so there was the person didn't call you physically, you didn't have any information about them. So what is that mechanism that allows for a kind of an empathy, like a feeling, but that your own feelings are not affected?
Mm.
And the reason I'm asking that a little bit is because a very dear contact of ours, he was the chairperson for Images and Voices, and he signed the letters with you for the first program here in Miami. He was the publisher of the Miami Herald. Two of his grandchildren, twins, were involved in that thing that happened just now in Texas. They drowned. And so part of the heart feels, because we know him, but how do I pick up a need without being affected, without any sentimentality or anything else? There's empathy, but there's power there too. And so I asked you, as a big yogi, how to do that.
Yeah, I think all the power is in our thought, That's what I was saying, that the thought travels. And you will be surprised that it doesn't take long. As soon as you think, you will feel that that soul is receiving.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that is what we have to do, is create kind of loveful feelings, feelings of belonging, thinking about that this soul can connect with Baba. Because this is what recently, there's one soul traveled from very far, from Asia to Peace Village. And everyone has jet lag and all that, but most of us don't accept it, right? So
Mm.
we start doing things, and so then she started feeling pain and couldn't sleep nighttime. And I always tell people that, sleep properly when you come.
Mm. Yeah.
So I thought it's not really good. She's whatever pain she's feeling. So then I came to know where she has pain. And through my thoughts, I just keep kind of, sending the rays or the vibrations, and she start feeling much, much better. Not only much better, but also, of course, more rested, because rest was needed because of the uh, jet lag also. So I think that instantly people could feel the power of our pure thought, elevated thoughts. And it helps them. It could heal them, make them stronger. I think many, many things can happen. So what you have to do for that soul, just send those powerful thoughts. No?
Mm-hmm. And so, we will send a message on behalf of the BKs, and but sometimes that feeling that traditionally people would say they're praying for the souls of the people who've died, but it's not the ones who've died who need the prayers or the meditation, right?
Mm.
Because they would have instantly transcended or moved into that state of peace. Whereas it's the parents and the sister and the grandparents that
Whole
must be so
family.
devastated. Yeah. That it's they who need the vibrations, right? Not the ones who passed away.
Mhm.
Especially if they're children, even if the
Yeah, these days, when I see young people, good family people, the disease they get, the bodies get sick, so what best we can do is do Mansa Seva for them.
mm,
Keep sending pure thoughts, vibrations of elevated thoughts. And it could help them actually in
yeah,
settling some karmic account. May not be completely, but
yeah,
they will feel that their pain is less. They're feeling much better.
yeah.
So some help definitely happens. So,
I would think you would have to be us on the lower scale of the yogi spectrum. We have to be careful that, it's not touching some unresolved sadness
Right.
in our own selves. Whereas with the yogi soul, I don't think they have that problem. I don't
Mm.
think that they risk, that there's any risk for them
They
in
have
that.
to they have to be attentive, listen.
Right, that's nice.
We
I
have
remember,
to make sure that their vibrations doesn't affect us.
yeah, I remember Daddy Janky once when she was questioned about something, some disaster, or I don't remember now what it was. It could have been even close. And she said, after all, I do have a human heart.
Mm.
So, in other words, that empathy, but that it shouldn't become the predominant thing, right? That you're able to take them beyond. Speaking about that too, in terms of how you started with, divine vision, or that um, how your eyes will transmit something to others. Even though I know about the beginning of the Brahma Kumaris
Mm.
back in Sindh, but culturally in India, females do not look at souls in male costumes, and so how do you manage that? One thing is, in a BK situation, there's no question, but just meeting people outside or being friendly, because I always remember Shanti, your niece, and I used to tease her because I said, "Oh, why do you look so serious?" Normally I'll speak to people when I meet them in the street, whoever they are. And she said that was my upbringing, that you didn't smile, especially at males. Yeah. And
No,
so,
because when there is body consciousness, then definitely, I think that through eyes, some kind of communication happens, or
yes.
sometimes people say, "Oh, when I looked at the eyes, I fell in love with this one," and so
Right.
they kind
Right.
of made it like, you shouldn't look at that. But when we belong to Baba, see, one of
Yes.
the objection when I came in knowledge from my grandfather was, why you all have to look into the eyes of men?
Yeah,
You
interesting.
he felt very bad. And we said, no, we are looking at soul. And
Yes.
he said, whatever. So,
Yeah.
but then also, we don't need to look into the eyes. We can
Mhm.
look at the center of the forehead.
Right.
But
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
when we are saying, its eyes are there, no, in the sense of,
Yeah.
even if you are looking at center of forehead, but still you are meeting the eyes. So Brahma Baba used to say, never look into the eyes, because the personality of that soul will also reflect in you.
Mm.
So always look at the center of forehead, always.
Yeah. And
They say
sometimes,
Brahma Baba also never looked at in the eyes, but it was in the center of forehead.
yes. Yeah. But also, when meeting people, when I'm walking or whatever, in some ways, I think I'm more soul conscious when I greet them, even if they don't respond. That I have the consciousness it's a soul. I'm not looking at who they are or what they are. More than sometimes in the family, where you just, you can easily forget. You're not so conscious
But
of your
if
brothers
we
and
if
sisters.
we look at everyone as a soul,
Yeah.
I think it can bring a lot of settling, love could emerge and all that. But if
Yeah.
I look at this person's sanskar, this person ways, and we keep registering it in our head, like, so our drishti is not pure really. Because
Yeah.
if I look at everyone as a soul, loveful soul, powerful soul, it can help other souls to
Yeah.
bring
For
a
sure.
lot of awakening, lot of transformation. Generally doesn't happen because our drishti is very ordinary.
Yeah.
Looking at a person, not the soul. No?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it's a very good practice to use our divine eye. Look at
Yes.
everyone with loveful drishti,
Yeah.
with that they all are souls, and
Yeah.
So our interaction with others,
Yeah.
not of any differences, conflict, nothing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we should use this more and more, right?
That's why it's easier sometimes with people you're just meeting because you have no history with them. You have no expectations or thoughts about them. You really can just see them as a soul. You know nothing about them other than that they're a soul. So that's why it's sometimes easier to be
As,
soul conscious.
as much we talk about the soul, I don't think there is soul consciousness. No? If there is soul consciousness, I think wonders can happen, right?
Yeah.
We will never be caught up into trivial things because we all are souls. And, that's what I told them that anyone I have met, whatever they are, I have always lived with them in whatever way. Because I always feel that, oh, Baba has chosen this soul. And so soul conscious drishti is very important. And then we see the magic, no?
Then you see the magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, also, just it was very entertaining your interactions last night.
Yeah.
But I had to bring up this thing of the what Baba mentioned about the servers and the trustees, because we'd discussed it in the morning. And then, like Gayatri often does, she looked at the Murli that it came from. And Baba was referring to the trustees as householders and the servers as those who had renounced the household. And then, of course, his thing was that they both are equal in terms of what it is they can achieve. They both have make the choice, and their renunciation will dictate. You know, so I
That
thought that
means
was interesting.
living in the family,
Yes,
you consider yourself to be trustee, right?
yes, yeah,
And then you serve. Well, Dadi Janki always said, so many surrendered, but many, many not fully, and they left because they were not trustees.
yeah,
So,
beautiful.
so important it is to be trustee and server then.
And server, yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what that. Yeah, that even those who are right hands or living in the family or whatever, and he was saying, they can be more elevated in their practice, in their service, in their love and their yoga than Baba says it too. Those sitting in Madhavan, or some of those sitting in Madhavan. And yet those who are living in other circumstances would be much better yogis, etc. Yeah, for sure. Another thing, and I don't know if we have a little time, that I've been thinking about is this thing. He touched on it again yesterday, I think, to do with courage. And do you think of yourself as a courageous person? Is somebody laughing?
Yeah, all are laughing.
Why are they laughing?
I don't know. I have to ask. Naren bhai, why are you laughing? I think everyone has a different kind of courage, right?
Okay, good.
And there are some people, they are courageous with their bodies when they have sickness, they are very
Yeah,
courageous. There are some, they are courageous in meeting people, they just go out and they want to meet people, doing big programs. Everyone has different courage. So I think each one of us, we are courageous, but in a different way. So I will say, yes, I am also courageous.
no, I know you're courageous, but this
Not I,
connection.
but I look at others. They are more courageous in some things than me. So
So
everyone has.
make the connection for me between, because I think there's a very big connection between courage and then whatever area you're talking about it in, whether it's resources, finances, body,
Mm.
relationships, whatever, that there's a very big connection between courage and generosity.
I think that internally when you have faith in Baba and you know it is Baba's task, and then you trust that everything will work out. I think so. Courage is coming not as a courage, but it's coming from your trust. It's coming from your faith in Baba that it will happen. It's Baba's task. So then
But
you,
is it possible to be courageous? Is it possible to be generous without being courageous? Because you always risk something when you're giving, you
Mhm.
know, or, you know, the opposite of courage would be fear. There's a fear of loss or something else. So, which comes first, the courage or the generosity? I think it's
Yeah,
courage. It
there
manif-
are some people they doubt a lot, in the sense of will it happen or not. And like I remember, we have new project now next door, right, to Peace Village. Quite a
yes.
big project. So every time I sit and tell them, let's access, let's see what will be first two buildings when we do. But I don't know why I don't say if Baba got it, Baba will get it done too. We have completed 26 years of Peace Village. And if you see the vastness, whether water, electricity bill, oil, it's like unlimited and there is no how much you can control, right? And but Baba, no. And then when Baba says drop pond gets full, drop by drop. And amazingly, this same thing. And luckily for the new property, so many have come from Madhuban, from different places, and they all go there. And, kind of the feelings towards that property is so much, lot of blessings, lot of blessings. So I think that when you are courageous to say yes to something,
Mm-hmm.
then cooperation comes. Baba, it's like vibrations are such. But if you are doubtful, your vibrations are not powerful, right? So I thought it's very auspicious to see so many, even day before yesterday, we went for another ceremony and Shushma Didi was there and
Mm-hmm.
Pratap was there before Mrithyunjay came. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
the energy which is coming is so promising, and I feel that this is going to work out very well. So
But,
I not have courage, but 100% faith too.
right. But the thing is, your courage then inspires that faith or courage in others as well, right? That it
Yeah, yeah,
has a ripple effect. And
yeah.
so whereas somebody else might be trying to have courage to speak some gyan to somebody, you know, your courage is like on a on a different level. It's like you're a big picture person, you know, not
No, yeah, I don't know. I have
yeah.
very, very confident that
But
I'm.
yeah, it's that courage, and I think, you know, like where Baba says, and this is sometimes what others need to see, is that if you have just stretch yourself a little bit and remember Baba, and then you can see how Baba helps. And so when that has happened to you throughout your 60 years, then why would you not have courage? You know, because every time you've remembered Baba, he's made it happen. You know, and so
I,
how
I
do you
don't
give
know.
basic courage to others?
I am thinking, do I need courage? Because if it's Baba's task,
Yeah,
it will happen. One thing we should learn, never have doubt,
yeah.
because then obstacles start coming. But have faith, have consistently be. But also these days, what is very important is be very loving and belonging.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw amazingly these 3 weekends, whether it was a Vyakti Parivar or couples retreat, is just Baba's love. Baba's love and belonging. Everyone just goes so transformed and full, and with again courage to do more for Baba.
Mm-hmm.
So it had been very well.
Okay. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you so much, Didi.
Congratulations to everyone, right?
Yes, true.
When
True.
I look at Ram Prakash, that hardly he could walk, but he's jumping, running, and every morning at 3 o'clock, again, his bakery is open, lot of bread.
Yeah.
When I look at his courage, that whether it is physically or, it's very surprising. So as I said, people have courage in their own way.
In their own way. Yeah.
Then one day we were passing from there. His car was there and he was standing. What you doing? So in the property, new one behind, there are two creeks, and
Mm-hmm.
ours is one from and two others. So they meet at certain time. So he said, "Oh, this is the Sangam,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Sangam rivers." And he said, "It's so beautiful vibrations." But he's trying to make the trail so that he can take everyone, have all the three creeks. Said
Yes.
beautiful sound of water, air. It's like beautiful. So
Yeah.
yeah, more and more, and so many offers for different kind of museum, film in the hall, do this, that. Lot of good ideas are also coming. So
Oh,
seems like
sparks creativity.
it will be very good. Yeah.
Courage sparks creativity. Thank you, Didi.
Okay, Body Man.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.